This week, we're putting the unwritten rules of gaming on record. The certain rules every gamer follows, despite nobody ever teaching us them. Scott has also temporarily escaped paternity leave to tell us whether gaming time still exists with baby number 2. We've also been playing Halo Campaign Evolved, and we'll reveal the next game chosen for Pixel Pix Replay. All this and more on this week's Pixel Parents podcast. Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Pixel Parents podcast, the show that discusses all things gaming from the perspective of parents. I'm your host, Liam Kelvin, and today I'm delighted to be joined by the bearded one, Scott, the tastemaker Curry. How are we, Scott?
I am risen, Liam.
He is here.
I am risen. Somehow, some way, still alive, Liam. Fucking surviving, thriving. Mm-hmm. And you know, it felt like this podcast was a bit... I think Alex was talking about his review for The Adventures of Elliot, or whatever it is, and it was all just a bit too nice. A bit too nice. Not enough fucking digging into things. And I'm back, Liam. Not permanently. I'm back. Maybe temporarily. I'm not sure. I'll try with the wife and see how that goes. But aye,
we've got him for 1 week only, I suppose. We'll play it like that, and we should also give thanks to your wife and family for lending you for another week. But yeah, as I said, Alex has been here. He's been in the hot seat for the past few weeks, and we thank Alex for that. He's away doing work excursions, I think, this week. So best of luck, Alex. We hope it goes well. But aye, it's been a time, man. It actually feels so much longer. When I look back on it, it's not actually been that long. Like the wee one is still like not even a month old. Like it's still very, very you're in the throes of it, aren't you?
I mean, as of the time this podcast goes live, he will officially be 4 weeks old. In fact, yeah, just the day after it'll be 1 month old. Wow. So it's mad, but it's flying in. Hard to believe that it's been a month. I was talking to my wife about it today. It's like, I remember that month with our first being like, oh my god. But this is just fucking flying and it's crazy. Like, I don't want to fucking toot my own horn here, Liam, but I might have solved it. I might have just solved parenthood now. I mean, if anyone else is having children, just ask me, because fucking who thought it was hard?
He said it now, folks. He said it now. You've witnessed the jinx.
I've eaten so many fucking Mars bars, Liam. You saw me. I've eaten nothing but Mars bars and cereal for the last fucking 4 weeks. Not at the same time, I'll have everyone know, but it's been it's been great. It has been genuinely fucking brilliant. And aye, it's just class. He's crying. I can hear him downstairs fucking kicking off, but that's not my problem for now. I am here to talk about video games that I have been playing during this mini paternity leave, and to discuss all things Halo with you, Liam.
Indeed, I'm looking forward to that. Before I get into it, I just want to toot my own home and make all the listeners and viewers jealous, because I've met the wee one, and I just have to say he's a wee belter and a wee pudding, honestly. He just looks like a very tiny Scott. But
every single person that met him has said the same thing. And I say the same thing back to them, as you know, he's just bald. He's bald, and that's half of me. So
I do have to admit, when I was leaving and I saw him from a different angle, I saw a lot of your wife in him as well. I have to say it's there. Good mix. Nature at work, people. Nature at work. Indeed. But aye, it's lovely. It's lovely. I'm just absolutely delighted that he's just nice and settled, nice and chill. Scott has cracked parenthood. So Scott's going to go start his new YouTube channel, The Secrets of Parenting. And yeah, that's it. This might be the last time we see him, you know, as he gets that big YouTube dollar.
Do you know, one of my big gripes with this though, Liam, right? And you've set me on a path that I wasn't expecting to go down. But
here we go.
When you're off and watching shit, even anything, right? parenthood tips. It might be tips on, DIY or cooking.
Yeah.
Every single time there's a post on like Instagram, it's always like, here are my top tips to surviving parenthood, and it's like 5 tips, but they never tell you. It's always like, link to the comment below, and you have to read through some shit or sign up to some nonsense or comment some bullshit. It's like, fucking pish. Just tell me what the secrets are.
I know, but that's marketing. If you're good at something, don't give it away for free. But I'm with you. It's a load of bollocks.
And why do we do this, Liam, for free?
Because we're generous. People have to pay for enough stuff in life, you know what I mean? Like, I will fight that good fight, you know what I mean? I think we mentioned that the other week, like, cost of everything, games are going up, and then you've got fucking umpteen million Patreons and all the rest of it. It's like, where does it end? We're gamers, not targets to be shafted so freely, but I digress. In the background, you can hear my dog doing his weekly Fred Astaire impression, which is great, just in time, so I'll just get some housekeeping out the road whilst he does that. But for those old and new, this is the Pixel Parents Podcast, which is a weekly gaming show by parents discussing all things gaming whilst raising little ones. You can get new episodes every Friday on YouTube, Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so please go subscribe to us on YouTube so you don't miss our tired faces. You can find us on Blue Sky at pixelparents.bsky.social or email us at pixelparentspodcast@gmail.com. You can also support the show, as I mentioned, for free at patreon.com/pixelparents. You'll get everything you need for £0. We're also on Reddit at r/pixelparents as well. And if you can, drop a wee 5-star review, share the podcast online with your pals, whatever you do. It really does help us out. So thank you to everybody that does join us each and every week. Now, Scott, I think we'll keep the Halo stuff to the side for a moment. Let's just keep pulling on this thread, because I think we're all curious to know, what has it been like the second time around with your gaming and that experience of having a newborn, and if there's been any gaming at all? Talk us through the past few weeks.
So there's been gaming. There's been gaming, and then there's been gaming, like the heathen moments. I've been taking advantage of having two kids these days, Liam, and that my firstborn still wants to play games with me. So we've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley, and my farm has never looked so good. It's honestly, it's a fucking sight to behold. But blasting through that. But apart from that, with having my PlayStation and my Xbox, I haven't really been touched. Like, when I turned my PlayStation on, I had a few hours this afternoon to myself, and I was like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't really want to sleep, but I'm like, I want to play something. And it was like Hell Is Us was in the disk drive. It's like fucking. See, the thought of actually sitting down and even trying to decipher what the hell I was doing when I was playing it at first. That game is the most ambiguous fucking nonsense ever. It's like,
by design.
Oh my god, it's by design, and it does it well. But it's, my god, man, like, just tell me where to fucking go, and what I'm doing. And it's now on Game Pass for anyone who's interested.
True.
But the PlayStation and the Xbox might as well not exist now, because I just can't be arsed with it. Like, having to sit in front of a TV and take myself away from the family. Where my gaming habit is sort of taking its form at the moment is with my Steam Deck. It's been a fucking lifesaver. I thought as much pre his arrival, and I'm now fully on board with fucking handheld video game, and it's mad.
Nice.
The Switch, not so much, but the Steam Deck, for sure. Games like Fields of Mystria, for some reason, has now fucking taken my balls in a vice grip. If farming simulators aren't enough in Stardew Valley, here's Fields of Mystria, where every single character is hot. Even the old people are hot, Liam. So, bizarre shite. But I've also been ploughing through fucking other shite, like Twilight Princess. I'm almost finished that.
Yeah.
Like, any moment he's asleep, if he's in his crib or something, like I tend to do nights. So if he's in his crib and I don't want to watch the telly, stick a Steam Deck on for maybe an hour or two before his next feed, and I'll be able to play Zelda for a wee bit. So Twilight Princess is almost finished. Give a shout out to Lucy James and the Looking for Game newsletter, because she pointed us in the direction of Sovereign Tower, a demo for that on Steam. And it's fucking excellent. Like, it's so good. For anyone that's interested, it's like a tabletop. It's like a round table management RPG. So it's like, imagine you're sitting on the Iron Throne in Game of Thrones, and people are coming to you with requests.
Yeah.
And then you have to fulfill those requests with knights that you recruit. It's fucking brilliant. Like, it's so good. So I'm looking forward to that dropping. I think that's out at the beginning of next month, so I'll be buying that. Just been picking up random shit on it, like Soul Sesto, which is another game that I sort of was interested in a while ago, which is sort of it's like a sort of random roguelike. So it's like, it's all based on probability. So it's like you've got 16 squares on a grid, and each line you press and it randomly picks one depending on sort of where you want to go, so you're not automatically winning it. It's sort of an element of chance in there. You can upgrade it and stuff, but it's class. Like, it's this weird art style, which sort of drove me to it, but it's excellent. Like, I've really been enjoying that. That's another one. Keep Driving is another one as well that I was also interested in too a while back. Kind of a bit, I bought it quite cheap, and I'm sort of quite glad, because I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing as I'm playing it. It's like you're traveling to one area on this map, so it's like you're going to travel across America basically in this car, and you watch the car drive. So it's like, this is the road. If you're listening to this on audio, you're fucking who knows, right? But imagine you're looking at a car from the side on driving, and basically it's like an RPG where things happen. You have these little instances that happen on the road, and you have to try and basically get past them using different abilities and stuff. It's quite cool. You can pick up hitchhikers who have their own abilities and stuff as well, which is pretty interesting. I picked up Metal Gear Solid 2 on the Steam Deck for some reason. No idea why I wanted to play it, but I wanted to play it. I played it for an hour, and Liam, I probably won't play it again on the Steam Deck, but see, for that hour, excellent. It really did. It really did sort of pass some time on that. I realised Stardew Valley is out on mobile as well, so I now own Stardew Valley in more places than ever before. Bilateral was played on the day that my son was born.
Nice.
While we were waiting, while I was waiting on my wife to go into the operating theatre to actually get the section to get him out, I played Bilateral on my phone, because it was the only thing I could do that wasn't shitting my pants. So that is a brief, an ever so brief rundown of the games that I have been playing. But it has just been a case of, see, if I get 20 minutes, half an hour, stick something on. 9 times out of 10 it's Zelda. Like, I'll be playing Twilight Princess. I'll probably play it tonight after we come off here. I'll put him down, and I'll take the night feed, and then I'll go to bed. But I'm kind of hoping that once I finish Twilight Princess, I've got Skyward Sword here on the Switch to play. Nice. So that'll be getting fucking torn into as well. I can also see myself in the future playing Breath of the Wild as well. For some reason, I kind of want to take the Switch 2 downstairs in the big telly and just scud that on there and play that on the massive 70-inch telly. But it's keeping me sane. I'll say that. Like, see that little touch point into the things that I enjoy. It's excellent. Like, that first week that he was home, there was nothing. You know what I mean? Like, he's been great in terms of sleeping and stuff. I'm taking the piss in terms of coming on and saying, like, cracked it right. Because you don't, there's moments where you feel like you're fucking losing the will to live. It's like, it's 2 a.m. Why are you still awake? Like, what is keeping you up? It's looking at the ceiling. It's like, why are you doing this? You're not doing it on purpose, but, reason with me, small child. But things like, summer games done quick were on that week. And if I was up late at night, or if I was sitting by myself downstairs, summer games done quick was getting put on. I watched the run for Bilateral on there, and it was excellent. The Infinity run on that. It's if you've not watched it, it's a sight to behold. It's just incredible the way that this game works. Who knew that Bilateral could be broken in so many different ways?
It's frightening. It's really frightening.
Mad. Fucking mad. And speaking of mad, what a segue, Scott. Fucking incredible segue. I have become obsessed. I don't watch TV that much. I don't watch many series.
Yeah.
House of the Dragon season, whatever fucking pish it's on.
3.
Don't give a fuck. Season 3. Don't give a fuck. Not watched any seasons TV for years. But for some reason, Mad Men has become my addiction this last 4 weeks.
Right, okay.
I've watched 3 seasons of Mad Men in about 2 weeks. 45-minute episodes. John Hamm fucking railing every single woman in America in the 1960s. It's just incredible. I fucking love it. Like, it's so good. January Jones as, is it Betty Draper? Incredible. Just every single performance is just fantastic, and I look forward to it. You know, these feeds at night, going to bed at 1 o'clock doesn't hit so hard when, you know, you're sitting watching something that you're enjoying and he's asleep in the arms and you're getting ready to go to bed. So it's quite nice.
Yeah.
Picturesquely, it's nice. But I think that if this was my first child, it'd be completely different. You know, I'd be like,
oh of course.
God, I can't sleep, I can't do what I want, I can't do this, I can't do that. But see, because you've done it all before, you said it to me and I didn't believe it. But see, because you've done it all before, it's not as if you're missing out on anything. Like, you know, you're not going to sleep that much.
Yeah.
Me and my wife used to stay up with the wee one because it was like, you know, we want to make sure that we're doing things together.
Yeah,
like if I'm changing the baby, she's making the bottle so we can all get it together. But now it's like, look, I'll take the feeds. Last feed at night, first feed in the morning, and then she gets the one in the middle, and then she gets a long lie. So it's like we get our sleep in there at parts. So it's worked out better, and every single day just gets a wee bit easier and easier and easier. But I will also say I'm fucking dying for the summer holidays to end. Like,
oh yeah, not long now.
Having two kids is great because she can help out with so many things, but you're also being dragged around just to kind of like away from things in terms of, you know, what you can help with. Or if the older ones want to go out with their pals, you need to make sure that you're sort of on keeping an edgy just in case anything happens. If for people who aren't from Scotland, keeping an edgy means looking out for them and make sure they're not getting fucking taken. It's not Liam Neeson out there. But it's been a journey, and it's one that I'm sure that in a few weeks' time, when I do make my triumphant return, if I am not saying that this child is sleeping through the night at some capacity, you know, I'll be tearing my head out because this boy wants to sleep more. He wants to sleep more. I'm willing it. He wants to do it. He's just fighting it for some reason, you know.
Yeah, but they have that though. There'll be sleep regression moments, and it passes. But
those first, I think it's like the first 4 days, he was fucking excellent. Like, you put him to bed at 12, and he'd wake up at 5, and it's like, oh my god, he's like, what have we done here? And then they go through like a mini regression between day 5 and day 7 because that's where they do most of their growing. It's like, oh god. And then since then it's just been it's been like every 3 hours basically. But if you can stretch that out as long as possible, then it's fine. But we're managing, like it's just managing it. And then
that's good though, man. And like we said, it's that whole thing about the XP, isn't it? Like that's what counts. Like second time round.
It makes the fucking world a difference. Like I honestly can't believe it. I genuinely can't believe how the word isn't easy. The word easy is coming into my head, but easier is in comparison. Like I said this to my wife earlier on in the car. It's like I feel guilty for my daughter because it's like she just doesn't know what happens in those first few weeks. They don't care, and they don't know exactly what you were doing. But it's like I was out of my mind those first few weeks.
Yeah, of course.
I had to go for a walk at like 11 o'clock at night because I felt like I was having a panic attack at one point. So it was like, you know, you're just not used to it. You don't know what you're doing, but you do. You have that XP, you have that experience, and you know exactly what's fucking to be expected. So it's easier than it is.
Yeah, there's that sense of preparedness and all that as well. And like you said, even mentioning, like by the sounds of it, is, you know, to pull it back to what we're talking about, it's the type of gaming that you're doing is kind of smaller and a little bit more digestible, bite-sized chunks, and a variety in there as well, which is good. And that is the reality. You know what I mean? Like, that is the reality. And it's handheld gaming, man. It's just like if you've got any child, I suppose, no matter what age, it's your best pal, you know, because kids will do that. There'll be peaks and troughs. There will be the moments it's like, let's go here, let's go to the park, or can you do this? Can we play that? And all the rest of it. And that's fun. You know, it's like, I'm very conscious of that. I keep getting like TikTok reels of like, you know, one day, like, you'll pick them up for the last time and they'll not want to play with you, and they'll be teenagers and all the rest of it. And it's like, you just try to keep present and mindful, but also I'm human. Sometimes you can't be bothered. You're like, I'm tired. I'm a mere husk. But, you know, like you had said, like everything else, I suppose easier isn't the word. It's the preparedness, isn't it? It's a better sense of preparedness because I remember before we had our first, and you know yourself, and you get all the patter, where, oh, you're going to get this, you're going to get that. And I remember being able to nullify it. By being honest, it's like, what are you expecting? I was like, I'm expecting the complete unexpected all the time because I don't have a clue. Like, I don't have a scuba do, but it's cool because the second time round, you're just like, yeah, I can kind of draw on that, and every kid's different, you know what I mean? They're going to do their thing, but it's probably going to be a few more tired months and all that ahead. But like you said, before you know it, he's sitting up, he's, you know, crawling, walking, all the rest of it, hitting the milestones, and it's just great, man.
He's got at least till late August to you know, take it on my routine here. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 is out, and you know, Daddy needs to be playing fucking Metal Gear Solid 4 religiously at that point. And then Fire Emblem and Onimusha have been bought and paid for, so it's I'm doing the September playlist already. I'm trying to get the payments in now rather than waiting for it to happen. So September is going to be the month where he's going to have to get to, you know, elite levels of fucking playtime here. So we'll figure that out as we get there. But it's fine. You know, I'm not missing it. I'm still dipping my toe here and there, and you know, it's fine. So my palate is still still cleansed. You know, it's still wet from stuff that I want to play.
Good.
I'm also excited to talk about this next game that you want to talk about, because
well, that's the funny thing. Like, when you go away, like, all the bad Xbox news in the world can happen, and I was saying that to Alex as well. Like, somewhere Scott will be out his back, you know, yelling at clouds, because if there was a time for him to be injured and not on that Titantron with the pipe bomb, you know what I mean? It just, of course, had to be there. And then you come back, and there's a big, arguably positive beat for them, because they'll take anything they can get this year. And the fact that there's a new game that's an old game, but it's something positive at least, you know, it's an output. It's a big deal, like a Olympic Halo coming to Xbox again. But we'll just move on to that, because we want to talk a wee bit about Halo Campaign Evolved. Now, Scott, I know you're going to hit out, or maybe not. I'm just going to keep people on tenterhooks here. Like, is it a pipe bomb coming? Is it not? So I'm going to lead here with my impressions. I'm going to get to yourself, right? But I only had it for about a couple of days now, and I've played it across the Series X and also on the ROG Ally X as well. Thoughts on both. But I decided to start this one just by playing through the bonus missions, because I thought, well, you know what, that's pretty much the new content that's there, and batter through it in about an hour and a half, I would say. And I had fun. Really did have fun. It was I did appreciate, obviously, going back into it. I was like, all right, okay, it's very much Halo Infinite in its style of play, etc. You know, you can do things like you can sprint, you can zoom in with the left trigger and that, things that you wouldn't have had in the original Halo. And it's appreciated. The teabag motion is also there, and it's smooth. But the game, obviously, it looks great. It's the first one in Unreal Engine. It was very much like, it did feel like, story-wise, I was thinking it's a prequel. Is it going to lead right into the Pillar of Autumn and stuff like that? It didn't quite. I was even wondering if they're going to make you play Sergeant Johnson, but they didn't. But he's fun. You know, it was just a little vehicle for him, and I walked away from it going, right, it was good. It definitely whet the palate for more in terms of, whet my appetite for more in terms of, this is what this team want to do. And I think on the whole, they managed to design little arenas and little kind of skirmishes in that classic Halo style. You know, you had your good mix of all the enemies, and it was chucking pretty much every weapon at the game at you within those 3 missions. And, you know, it was very Covenant ship focused. You know, there's a little bit when you're outdoors, and it does feel like Halo. My criticism of it would be is that it probably just wasn't enough. Like, I felt like, if anything, they probably could have made those sections just a little bit longer and maybe did a little bit more with the story. It almost felt like they were hesitant, because obviously it's like they've got clear respect for the source material, which I'll get to in a minute. But it did kind of feel like multiplayer maps in a good way. I was playing it and I was going, this would be a cracking Halo multiplayer map, the way it's set up, nice even spaces, good verticality and stuff like that. And it did just kind of make me quite sad that there was no multiplayer aspect to this game. Like, I feel like that's such an own goal. Whether or not they introduce that later, I don't think they will, but Halo Championships are coming up. There's rumours that they might do something there. I think, if anything, you're going to get skins or something like that. I wouldn't really get your hopes up at all around that, but I'd love to be proven wrong. But then
it's the issue with it is that obviously, you know, coming off the back of Infinite, it doesn't play exactly like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're basically taking a step back with that. So why would you create an inferior multiplayer game in comparison when you've already got one that's fucking good there?
Aye, because I mean, Halo Infinite was class. I mean, the grapple hooks and all that. I mean, it even managed to get yourself hooked for a short time.
Exactly.
Keyword being short, but it was fun, you know, because it was something different. It was a throwback, and the nostalgia played. That Halo is a nostalgia game now, right? That's it. Do I think the youths are going to come in on this? No, like it's not going to hit the highs, but I think there'll be some youths that'll be like, oh yeah, I've heard about that. It's a good starting point, and this is probably the best way to play it just now. Purists are probably going to be balking right now listening to that, but you've just got to be real. It's like if you go back and play the OG Halo Combat Evolved, it's impressive to us because like you can look at it going, wow, it's the first time they managed to make this type of shooter work on a stick or on a controller, for example. And it's great, you know, that kind of more sandbox skirmish style gameplay, which has then evolved into Destiny and all that stuff as well. But I got into the main event, Scott, right after the bonus missions and started the campaign, and it hit, man, like that nostalgia was like a tidal wave because it is like the same things you've seen before, but it's the music plays such a big part in all this. But even like the Master Chief design is kind of more inspired by the original one, where it's a little bit more basic, but they've did a good job of modernising it. And the gameplay wise, it's just like I'm back. It's like just riding a bike. You know what I mean? It's like it's simple, but especially after a couple of weeks I've been playing like Call of Duty and stuff like that, which we'll get to later. It was actually quite refreshing just to be like, yeah, like I didn't know I just needed this experience just now. Putting that up, you know, the difficulties, try to a wee bit in Legendary. It's like, let's just ease myself back in a wee bit first before I do that. But I'm looking forward to maybe at some point, not right now, but maybe at some point in the distant future, we can do a Legendary co-op run for a laugh. But that's a different type of evening. Right now, it's just like, yeah, just kind of go through, play it as normal. And it's still like, you know, it can kick your ass at times. You still have to be mindful of what you're doing in the game. Before I pass over, I would just want to touch on the Ally X, Scott, right? So I played in that as well, and it does run. It does, and don't forget this, an Unreal Engine 5 game as well, which I've heard it can be a little bit temperamental, particularly on Windows PCs, but I'm not the PC guy, so I'm not going to sit here and give you a digital foundry. It's my digital floundering that we're going to be doing just now, but went online, I think it's Rogue Ally Life. They usually give you the best specs and all that to run it on. Tweaked it all. Did run into a few strange things. So I'm playing with my AirPods in, and it asks you, it's like, can you access the microphone? As soon as you do that, all the game's audio sounds like it's coming to you through a microphone, like terrible. And you have to go in and change like the microphone output settings and all that to get the proper audio. So it's like, cool, sorted that. Then you move into the rest of it, and it automatically puts everything down, your textures, your shading, your shadows, everything down to very low. So it looks like dog shite. It's almost like I might as well go play
the original.
Yeah, I might as well go play it because it'll run better. And it does a pretty stable 60 frames per second. It is a bit choppy at moments, particularly when you've got like Covenant ships coming in. But it's still largely running. I was like, do you know what? For the handheld experience, and for what it's trying to output, I managed to tweak it just right, where I managed to add a little bit more textures and stuff like that into it. And it ran fairly well, and I was just having a blast just going through it. But I did walk away going, you know, the optimum, no surprising, optimum experience of that will be on the Series X. But it's one of those games where if you're thinking, right, if you're in the same position as I, we're going to go between the two, the best thing about it is that you can just use like your cloud saves, and I literally last night I turned it off, I went up to my bed, picked it up in the Ally, and I was away, and I was like, cool, like this is the ecosystem that they're trying so hard to sell people on, and I love that about it. But you are going to have to make quite significant compromises in the gameplay experience. I will say that. But I know you've played it as well, Scott, and I should, if I was Xbox, I'd be afraid right now, but I know nothing. But I want to know your thoughts on it, because I'm surprised you've even touched it, to be fair, because I thought you were just going to be like, nah, ain't for me. But there you go.
I'm nothing but, you know, the integrity on this podcast. I will I will spread myself thin to get an opinion out there, good or bad. And Liam, it's still fucking Halo. You know what I mean? Like, it's still pish. It's still pish. Like, Halo as a game is fucking rotten. Like,
God.
I played the first hour of it, so you jump in, whatever his name, Admiral Keys or whatever bullshit that is, and he's telling me, go and get everyone, even him. And there you go, fucking on you go, jumping a bit like an arsehole. Nice thing is that at the beginning it asks you to, you know, I don't know if that's done in the original, so fucking correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like, do you want to simulate the combat calibration? And there's a wee cutscene or a wee sort of conversation that happens when you say no. Nice touch. But then I get a gun and I start shooting and I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm out, man. I'm done. I don't need to be playing this anymore. And that's a problem that I have with it. I've just never enjoyed Halo. I think it's fucking shite. I just think it's so boring. And that in a world where we have so many better first person shooters that do everything better, that do so much more than the original Halo has done, because the original Halo has been and gone, the fact that we have a remake for this game that doesn't add anything really, you know, substantial. You might have more movement tech, but in a game where do you really need to move that much? You know, like, you're moving more in things like multiplayer in the actual game alone itself. Maybe when you get out into the fucking wider area and all that shit, when you're running out, have no idea where you're going, maybe, right? But it's just very much a case of it's a turd that's been polished, Liam. Like, it's still shite in the middle. You know what I mean? It's Jordan Henderson and Danny Welbeck signing for Chelsea. You know, they're old. You're just putting a fucking better top on them, and that's it. Like, they're still pish. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and I'm sorry, Danny Welbeck, I know he played for Arsenal, so I can't be too angry about it, but I just don't see it. Like, this is the grand beginning of what Xbox are doing, and there's maybe something symbolic about it being Halo, because it was always going to be Halo, right? Fair enough, but it just feels so unnecessary. Like, I'd have rather have seen Halo Studio do something more, do something better with the Halo franchise. You know, Infinite was a misstep because they promised too much. This just feels like a step. They're pleasing the fans that are already pleased with what Halo was. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see generations of people coming out of this being like, oh man, do you know what that? Did you see that Halo? You know what I mean? Like, John Halo is the best character ever. Are you going to get folk from Fortnite who have seen him do his fucking weird dances because he was a skin on there one time come on and play this game? I don't know. I really don't know. But it's just, this is just me being fucking moany because I just don't see the point in it. And, you know, The Last of Us Part 1 and 2 have about 1 million remakes and remasters, and that's fair enough. If we're going to remake a game from, when did the original Halo come out, Liam?
2001, 2002.
So you're remaking a game that's 25 years old. You know, if you go that far back, if you want to go as far back as the Master Chief Collection, which done it better, I think. I think it serviced it better than, you know, not that long ago. But it just feels like a whole lot of fucking noise for nothing. Like, it's just, I just don't see it. But I also just don't like Halo. So I take everything I say with a pinch of salt, because I think it's fucking pish anyway. So I was never going to be the target audience for this. Like, it's not something that I was ever going to be on board with.
Yeah.
But it's something that I signed up for Game Pass, $16.99, played it for an hour, and then just cancelled my subscription straight away and got the refund back straight away because I could, you know, on the same day, played it, then fucking stopped playing it because I've got no interest in it. But it just makes no sense. Even looking at it on the fucking home screen, it's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, what are we remaking this for? But this is going to spark the whole fucking litany of every other Halo game now being remade in Unreal Engine 5, probably.
Well,
you know,
I mean, that's definitely the plan going forward. I mean, for me, it was after Infinite, which is Infinite's such a fascinating case to me because, like, it didn't fail. What it failed at, or what its biggest misgiving was that it was that reality, that sobering moment for Xbox that Halo isn't the big blockbuster event that it used to be. It is for a certain gamer, probably like myself, that was there. You know what I mean? For like the youths, they're just not like, it's not going to compete with a Call of Duty. Back in the day, it was like Halo versus Call of Duty early on. Like, don't forget Halo 3 coming out at the same time as Modern Warfare 4. And it's like, that was the thing. Like, you were either a Halo player or a COD player, and it was like that kind of little rivalry back in the day. Didn't last long. But don't forget, you had like ODST, Reach, all that stuff coming out about that time in the heyday when Xbox 360 was at its peak. And then Infinite came out, and it had this moment. They didn't support it properly. They might have been like, Chris, this is actually doing a lot better than we thought at first. But then that opportunity came and went, and it just gets forgotten because that's gaming nowadays. That's the pace of it. And that's
if it was a single player game alone with just a campaign, it probably would have been all right. It's the fact that they never properly supported the multiplayer for Infinite that really fucking shagged them for it. Like, I'm fine with making the same game over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Like, I played Metal Gear Solid for my whole life. You know, I've played these games a million times. I've played God of War. You know what I mean? Like Ragnarok in 2018. I've played those, and they're the exact same game, just different fucking stories. That's cool. But you're playing it. It's like going from Street Fighter 6 with all the tools and everything else, everything new. You know what I mean? Like mad combo strings, all the tech and all this pish, and then just going back and putting Street Fighter 2 in there, but just changing the visual style of it. Yeah. It's like, you know, it's basic already, but you've just made it look nice. It's just like, that's my problem with it. It still plays like old Halo to me.
Of course. I mean,
so it's just, and the fucking weird gremlin fucking bastards that you're shooting, it's like,
grunts.
I've shot a million of these already. Like, how many more do I need to kill?
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to now, but I mean, if you would stick around to the Flood, it definitely gets good at that point. But I mean, I know for me, it's the nostalgia thing because it's very early 2000s. Like coded in that regard, like,
yeah,
and it is very much like, you know, that speaks to us, the old genes there who were there. And I'm with you. Like, I actually think the Master Chief Collection is still like the premier way to go back and play these games. Now, Campaign Evolved is probably going to end up at the end of it. It's like that's probably going to be the best way to experience Combat Evolved now, like, because Championship, what do you call it, Anniversary Edition, wasn't that great, you know, and it did the job, but it was very much remembered for, see, if you press the select button, you can go back and forth between the old and the new graphics, which is a cool gimmick. But I think for me, what they had to prove here at Halo Studios, it's almost like an acceptance that Halo is going to be like their legacy franchise, as opposed to, let's just do that for the Xbox fans, like your core fan base that are there, the old cunts that are sitting there that had the 360 scars and all that, and an acceptance that it's not going to be the one that's going to drive all those new ones. I think that big beat is to come this year, and I think that's going to be Gears E Day, but that's a very different thing because it just has a little bit more sauce and a point of difference. However,
but that's the edge that it has on it, though. It's different. You know, you can take these games back. That's what Halo Infinite should have been. You know, that's where they should be. That's where the beginning should have been. You know, the genesis of this new fucking thing is like, look, we're giving you a Halo remake, but also the following year, you know, we're throwing out Halo Infinite 2. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's something more to Master Chief at that point, but with Gears is it's different. It's telling you a story that needs to be told, you know, and it's showing different gameplay and all that pish as well. So it's
but what it'll be going forward, I imagine, is going to be this, you know, can we redo Halo in Unreal Engine? That's the big question probably behind the scenes, and that's a big task, and they've managed to do it, and they've farthed it out in a couple of years. Well, it's been longer than that, but since announcement, and that's cool. And I could probably see them just like Halo Studios, right? Just go and remake them, and it's kind of a similar way before the next was Blue Point, but it's like this is a team that's fully dedicated to that, and the next one it'll be Halo 2, you know, Evolved or whatever they want to call it, and that'll be when they dabble in bringing back multiplayer, and it is just going to be, do you know what? Let's just forget that. I believe they clearly have. We'll do the stripped back Halo 2 experience in an Unreal Engine 5 lick of paint, And then all the usual stuff like, the servers don't work and all that stuff. And there'll be something in there because Halo just seems almost slightly cursed at this point. Then they'll go into Halo 3. And then at that point, I would expect them to perhaps be dabbling in something a little bit different. But I wouldn't be surprised if at that point they're like, do you know what? We've not set the world on fire. And knowing the landscape just now, it wouldn't surprise me if then you're booting up things and you see Tom Warren just saying Halo Studios has been shuttered or something like that. Like, that's like the next 10 years. But
the problem with it is that you can remake all these games for fucking forever if you wanted to. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they're still going to be old games. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to create new fans with these old games. You need to do something new. And the curse that Halo has is that you still need to appease the old farts that want to play it like Halo had always played. But if you modernise it too much, people will fucking hate it because it's too modern. So it's like, it's a double-edged sword. You can't win. Just fucking retire him. Man's old.
That's the thing. The X factor here is, and we'll know in a few weeks, is how it performs on PlayStation, which I still think is weird. Like booting up my PS5 and seeing John Halo just burst up there, and it still is weird. It's something I can't get used to. What I do think about though, in regards to all of this, is when you're thinking about like where Halo's place is and all of that. You talk about the legacy thing. Like, I mean, it's look at Metal Gear Solid collection and all that. I think there is a market, and it's important that gamers still have that. But it's this whole thing about the Game Pass thing, and I've noticed it in conversation with a few other podcasts, probably much more fortunate than ourselves podcasts that are probably getting a little bit further afield, but it's this whole thing, Game Pass devalues games, and a lot of developers feel that way, and I do definitely see their point they're making. However, I look at releases like Halo Campaign Evolved, and I'm like, I'm a fuck paying 60, 70 quid for that. Like $16.99, cool, in and out. I will play it once, enjoy it, and never touch it again, because it's nothing to do with its devaluing games. It's just that that's the fucking value of the product to me.
Yeah.
And if anybody, any gamer out there that's sitting there nickel and dime and all the rest of it, and I know I'm going to be fucking Captain Cheapsteak, but I'm also like, let's read the room a wee bit here, guys. I know. Fuck that. But you've got to read the room a bit, because it's like, as I mentioned at the start, you're getting shafted left, right and centre, and I do feel that there is a growing but small cohort of people, I would say, within the games media that's, you know, definitely starting to push that line of like, it's devaluing games. And let's see in the next few years, when you're basically a little bit like games are getting more expensive and consoles are going to come out at XYZ, Grand Theft Auto, is that going to be the most expensive games? I'm a bit of a believer in that, yes, there's punditry, but you can, if you've got influence, you can speak some things into existence. And I can see this happening now with Xbox, which is like, you're going to see that more and more. This devaluing things, etc. And that offer of these day one bigger, like monetary value titles will get stripped out, and it might just become something for older games, or like the Call of Duty model, which is no day one games will come after a year, which to me is shite. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, well, you've just killed Game Pass at that point, and they need all the fucking help they can get at that point. But
well, that's it. You can do it with games like Call of Duty, because you know there's going to be a fan base there that want that new. With a game like Halo, it's exactly with a game like Halo though. Like the litmus test, the one person here that fucking loves Halo, right? If Game Pass did not exist, and they announced they were recreating. They were doing Campaign Evolved, but it was going to be 70 quid. Is it 70 quid now?
I think it's just under that. It's about 60
right,
quid.
So whatever it is, right? Whatever amount of money it is, if that wasn't on Game Pass, would you have bought it?
No.
There you go. Like, that's the only reason people want to play these games, is because it's on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Xbox would have made Campaign Evolved if they couldn't have put it on Game Pass. Do you know what I mean? Like, because the appetite isn't there for Halo.
$49.99. Sorry,
well, even it's fucking $49.99 too much. It's just, this should have been a fucking upgrade on the Halo that you already own if you owned Halo, and that's it. A 10 or a £20 upgrade. You know, but
there's only
just mad.
It's one thing I'm realising more and more. It's kind of like I'm really putting a lot of effort into not buying things willy-nilly. And it's just because I'm like, there's other things I could spend stuff on. Again, that's what happens as kids get older. Yeah. They get more expensive. But it's like, yeah, I could go buy that, or would I feel right if I did that, knowing that I could have spent that doing something else? Like, I had that this month, like, and then we've got like Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, a game that I'm thoroughly looking forward to, but I'm like, I don't think I'm going to go buy it day one. I'm just going to wait to see the usual stuff with fighting games, like how is it performing. Even though I'm not going to play that online, I'll just play it with my son. But what's the reviews like? It looks absolutely excellent. The beta was excellent, but it's also like I'm conscious of like playing like Dragon Ball Fighter Z and all that stuff. It's like buyer's remorse for my playstyle. So I'm just I am evolving, not just Halo. I am evolving here, Scott. But yeah, it's something that I think. Well, just keep your eye on it, because I think it's going to be a thread that continues to get pulled on. But
I'm also sorry, because I've been mean on Xbox the last few weeks. I have been the last few months, years maybe. But I can't let PlayStation go unfucking touched here. This whole physical media balls and all that pish. Now, listen. Cards on the table, Liam. Do I really care about it? No. Physical media is dying because we all buy fucking things digitally. I like having a collection of games, but that collection has gone fucking down and down and down as I've got older, because it's just easier and I'm lazy, right? I own a few things here and there that I want to have, and that's nice, but you know, I'm not going to be heartbroken over the loss of physical media. I think that you and Alex made some great points about it, so I'm not going to go over them, but I do feel for the people who rely on it more than ever before. And, you know, I've spoken about rental markets and things like that in the past, and how that was a gateway to games. And then losing that because of this is just ridiculous. But, you know, it's just the way things are going now. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's frightening, and it's a reality that we're going to have to just exist in, because this is the hobby that we love. You know what I mean? Like, and we're all fawning over things like Steam Decks and ROG Ally X's and all that, but you know, you don't own that. You know, it's like that's digital pish as well. For what it's worth. But I just think that with PlayStation, it seems to be a decision that is coming back to bite them every single fucking post that they make about anything. Like, they can't post about anything online, and fucking rightly so.
I know.
But
and this is the big switch off, which won't happen. With two guys and a dog taking up
two
plugs
guys.
out of PlayStation.
Oh no, people aren't turning it on. Like, fucking, it's fine. Like,
motion. I think
more people will.
They always absolutely spot on. An incredible Lana Pierce put another video up about that. You should go check it out. People that haven't seen it. And she did, I think she mentioned like their stock price went up after the announcement, which is just like, oh, okay. And that just kind of tells you, it's like, and you know, the market data is telling you that. And I do feel slightly guilty seeing that market data, because it's like, you know, I've been buying a lot of digital games because I'm a lazy bastard. That's
just the reality of it. You can't hide from it. It's just the reality of the way things have gone. Like, these consoles are used like that now. Like, I mean, like, we don't have time to be going to look at game shops, because game shops don't exist in our world anymore. Like, you'd have to go down to a CEX and hope that they have the game that you want in stock. Game is fucked. Like, going into a Sports Direct to try and find and see if they've got a game in store, and they might have Magic the Gathering cards and one copy of fucking,
so depressing, like
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare that nobody's bought for 10 years. It's like, these physical game stores just don't exist anymore. I couldn't tell you where the closest one would be to me now.
You're better going to a supermarket.
Yeah,
that's basically it.
But even,
you know what I mean?
Even they're not doing it anymore. Like, you used to be able to walk into like a Tesco or something and buy it there. Like, the easiest thing for me now is going into an Argos and I get a discount for it. It's just like, that's working out for me. But they've slowly but surely, we've slowly but surely become used to a reality where digital is best. Even things like Game Pass and PlayStation Plus, having this collection of games in our library that doesn't necessarily exist in reality. But if you're going to be catering for a digital future, then you have to create means of us being able to access this digital future when everything falls to shit and nuclear winter takes over. You know what I mean? Like, we can't be having the same problems that we had a couple of I think like last week or something, when there was outages. Everything went out. Aye, so you can't be having that. If this is the route you want to go down, you have to have protections in place for it. But I just wanted to make sure people were aware that I was angry. You know, I was angry, and then I took a step back. I watched the Alana Pierce video, and then I was just like, you know what, it's just fucking shite. But you know, I'm still going to buy shit online. So
she's always absolutely bang on. I don't know how she does it, man. Like, she just makes very cromulent points all the time, bang on, good journalism.
Embiggens that role.
Indeed, and then it's just the tidal wave of weirdos that come after her, and it's just like, you can't get angry.
Some of the fucking comments she gets, she posts about it on Instagram quite a lot, but it's like all the fucking weird comments that she gets from folk is just wild. Like, I feel sorry for because it's fucking outrageous.
But I'm impressed, like thoroughly impressed. I'm like, it wouldn't be me, but you know, she's definitely made her stronger stuff, and it's like, fair play to you. Keep doing the good work. We definitely appreciate it, even if the weirdos don't. But fuck them. But Scott, that was a good meaty discussion. It's good. I feel like we're exercising demons now that he's back. Scott's had a lot of pent up rage, and I'm not going to get him started any further. I'm going to move things into the main topic. Otherwise, he's going to be, you know, making big statements about Asha Sharma. But before I do move on to the main topic,
nothing to say about her. I think she's doing a great job.
If you do enjoy the show, you want to support us, you can. Won't cost you a penny. Just go join our free Patreon community. Visit patreon.com/Pixel Parents. But it's free all the time. And if you can, please don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/@Pixel Parents Podcast, where there are a few more extra goodies on there. We've recently had the Next Playground review and the Assassin's Creed Black Flag review. So yeah, go check that out. And thanks everybody that is subscribing to us on there. We do notice that as well. Anyway, Scott, it's time for a little fun main topic here, which is the unwritten rules that every gamer follows. So that's what we're here to discuss. It's not necessarily tutorials or instructions. It's just really for us to talk about these weird habits that almost every gamer, we're willing to bet, seems to understand. And really, we're just going to confess the rules that we follow, decide on maybe which habits, perhaps after we've said them out loud, we need to stop, and maybe perhaps argue over some of the more controversial ones. But Scott, I just want to begin with the big question. You know, what is one unwritten gaming rule that you follow every single time?
Every time.
Something weird.
I mean, something weird is you know, smashing every box in any room that exists, just in case, you know. Just in case. There might be something there. Playing Zelda recently, I'm smashing everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hyrule has never been so clear.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly the type of stuff we're talking about, right? So we're not being strict, it is all silly stuff. But yeah, you're right. There's that compelling need. If you see a box, you must try smash it. And things like Dark Souls and all that haven't made that any easier, because it's like, can I roll through it? You know, I will judge it.
You need to check the rolling physics and all that, and the vase smashing physics as well. So you're doing the Lord's work.
It's just one of those simple pleasures in gaming. No, it's just like just seeing a box just break before you're very, very well. I mean, I think
when it works, Liam, it's like, oh, like, I'm a genius now. Like, true. There's a piece of heart here. I should take this.
Aye. Or then the Zelda ones, it's like, yeah, it's in the odd rupee, but it's like, I'll do it just in case there's a heart, even though I don't need it because I've got full health, but I must have it. But another one that's kind of like that, and it feels obvious, but you know, see if there's like a waterfall or something like it, I must check behind it.
Yeah.
Must. Like, it's that compulsion. And I feel me mentally be like, don't do it, don't walk past it, but I have to, Scott. I can't help myself. It's just that more of an exploratory need. You know what I mean? Like, if the objective is pointing me left, I have to go right. You know what I mean? I have to.
Yeah, it's just fucking disgusting. Like purposely trying not to finish something, and then when you do get through like this unmissable cutscene, it's like, oh shit. Oh no, I should have went right. Like
why is fuck that door's locked behind me? There's other stuff in there that I could have got. Like, and it's only got worse, particularly like third-person action games. They're like, Naughty Dog are so guilty for it, but that's probably where I think a lot of this habits come from. Go through these beautiful environments. It's very clearly signposting you to like go to the left. And I'm like, there's a wee office there with absolutely nothing in it. If I go in there and I read every drawer, I might find a wee note that I will never read again. You know, just that little, I don't know, that obsessiveness that's just kind of scratching away. And I think a lot of gamers will kind of feel the same. I almost kind of feel like I wish I wasn't that compulsive. Like I wish I could just be the golden path did. But no, here I am, literally raiding bins in some cases to find like digital collectibles of zero value, but I must have them.
You must have them. You must do it. It's true. That is true. Something that I struggle with, and it's probably more relevant in games like Hitman or like a Metal Gear Solid, is that if I get caught, I'm reloading a save. Like I am doing it every single time. I need to be perfect, Liam. Like everything needs to be perfect, just in case, you know. I'm really bad for that. Like, like fucking really bad for that. I sometimes haven't finished games or levels, so I struggle with things like Dishonored because I want to do it perfectly. But then when it all falls to shit, no, we're reloading that game.
Here's one, right, and I think this is probably more of a rule, but it's like never trust an empty room that contains lots of health and ammunition, because you know something's coming, a boss is coming. Like if you've suddenly, it's like the big giveaway in like Halo, for example. See if I'm getting a rocket launcher, so here we go. Like gonna get some hunters here. There's just something massive, or if like you've been struggling all the way through, and it's like, oh, hello, body armor, and it's like, yeah, prepare yourself. That's the game's way of signaling. It's like, yeah, you should not trust this. We're not doing this to be nice. We're doing this. We're about to slap you down.
Oh, it's true. No, you're absolutely right, and it's sort of relevant to things like Zelda and stuff as well. Is that if you're finding a fairy outside the room, you know, you're catching that shit because you're going to be fighting that boss next door. Do you know what I mean? Like it's you know the door's there, but you know it's coming anyway. They make it very clear in that as well. I'm also quite bad, and it's like, you know, speaking about picking up items and that with things like Baldur's Gate or like just hoarding things just in case. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to use, if I've got a really big boss coming up, I might want to keep that item just in case, and then just not using it. Like it's just like, oh well, okay, and then just forgetting about it and never using it down the line. Like this is something that could have made my life significantly easier. But I just want to make things harder, like Final Fantasy, for example. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not using fucking Phoenix Downs. Fuck that.
No.
I'm going to just revive everyone because I'm stupid. But there's so many of them. You can buy them at one point, so it's just, what's the point? What's the point, Lynn?
In my Final Fantasy X playthrough, man, I was rattling them where I last left it, and I'm so close to the end. But here's one, right? I probably should have started with it, but why is this a rule that red barrels have to explode? It's a ubiquitous design language, and even why are there red barrels everywhere? Sometimes I think about it, it's like, it's a really odd thing to have cutting about. You know, it's a red barrel in the first place. But
it stands to reason that beside that red barrel, there's also a sort of crouchable wall next to it that you can vault over or stand behind and shoot over. You know, the world has never been so wally than this. It's stupid.
I know. I just like it. I'm like, game logic that that rule exists only in games, you know. But even if I watch a film or something, very rarely, unless it's like a Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie. I suppose you mentioned there about hoarding, and it's like, you know, you never ever use the best healing item effectively because you might need it later. That's what you mentioned with Phoenix Down. But I don't know if you do this as well, but I always end up finishing the game with an inventory full of items that I was saving that I will never use, but I should have. Like Phoenix Downs, that's probably a good example. But even like, say, like Pokemon and all that, the amount of like hyper potions and stuff I've got in there, not using them, so I'm just tanking hits and just absolutely obliterating people. And it's like, yeah, I'll go to that Poke Center, but see those 70 hyper potions, you can get them from my cold dead hands. I will not use them. I would rather them faint than use them, you know. But I find it happens all the time. Like, and I was playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and the recent Assassin's Creed games, one of the big criticisms we'll have is that inventory. You know, it's just full of absolute turd. You know, like there's just like that little annoying exclamation mark, and it's just like, I need to go look at it and get rid of them all. Like, get rid of the notification. That's another rule that I have. But I'm like, what? Why am I saving this? You know, that logic of saving it for a rainy day. That's something that the game will probably give you again. There's no shops. It's not like that type of thing where you have to buy them again. Some games you do, but it's what type of games where they're just chucking stuff at you, and it's like, no, I'll hold on to it just in case.
Just in case.
Aye. And I suppose that kind of dovetails into this one, right? Whilst I'm on the point, talking about Halo and all that. keeping your starting weapon long after it stopped being useful.
Oh,
just in case you get more ammo for it, you know.
aye.
But
it's like a Dark Souls game. It's like using an upgraded shite weapon because you've upgraded it rather than going for a better weapon. Like you become like nostalgic for the weapon that you already have.
aye.
Nonsense.
You know, like Resident Evil and stuff like that as well. Like, you know, it's like, oh, I'll just hold that just in case. Or you might even just be like, I'll try and run through here and see if there's ammo in there, just in case, because I like using it. But I don't know what it is. For me, it's like the assault rifle curse in Halo. I mean, it's like, I like it. Or a battle rifle. It's like, I will stick to one weapon. I don't want your little shitey plasma cannon. I just want something else. But aye, it's weird. You get any ones on like hoarding specifically?
Hoarding?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just hoarding everything. Like it's going out my way to find stuff that I don't need. Like The Witcher was really bad for that. It's like going out your way to pick flowers. Like just picking all the flowers in the world. I don't need all these fucking petals, but you know, it's on the map, so I might as well do it. That's a fucking bad habit that I have, is that I need to clear things off of maps before I can move ahead.
That's that is a bit of a gamer rule, that though. It's kind of like, you know, if you see it there and like you're walking through a forest, you pick it up. Or
one rule that I follow every single time, and this might just be a thing because we're older gamers, Liam. It involves stairs.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
And I have to check the stair walking animation of every game that I play.
I get you.
Metal Gear Solid 2 is perfect for it because Raiden and Snake, they tiptoe down each step and you can hear it.
Yeah.
But see if you give me a lazy stair walking animation,
floaty one,
I'm out already.
Aye. I know what you mean, like playing like the old like Grand Theft Auto games are really bad for that. Just kind of floated. Now like going to GTA 4 and if all of a sudden like there's physics and you have to use stairs and it's like, yeah, you do appreciate it. Suppose another one with that, see if there's a beach or snow, I'm checking for footprints.
Yeah, that is every time.
Every single time.
Or jumping in water to see if your character gets wet.
Aye, the old Uncharted test, isn't it? Like, you know, because it's one of those things, like if it doesn't happen, and I think there was a game I was playing recently, and I can't really remember what it was. It wasn't Black Flag, but there was a beach, and I didn't see the footprints, and I was immediately judged. You know what I mean? Like, couldn't even put a footprint in there. Something that has no material difference to this gameplay experience at all, but you're just kind of like, I've noticed that. But see if you put snow in a game, man, you know, like God of War's fantastic with it. Talk about like Uncharted there, Red Dead 2. Making a big old trail in that snow. I don't know why. It's again, the rule is there because it provides maximum satisfaction, and that's you know, we're sad. That's why we like to do it. That's why we like to do it. But yeah, the rule is there. Just for me, it's always like, I don't know. It's a compulsion. I just can't help myself.
You have to.
It's a bit like, you know, saving your currency in a game and being petrified to spend it, and then instead of buying as you go, this is like, I'm always like, no, just keep it just in case when you get something good, and then you fart it away in one big thing, and then the shop opens up and there's loads of like smaller just things you could have got instead. And that's probably more of a commentary on myself as a person, finding that with Black Flag now. You know what I mean? Like, I could upgrade one part of the jackdaw, or you could have did 5 bits that would have actually helped you in a lot of these battles, but you had the big shiny. Digital currency is just an absolute nightmare in games for me. Like, so bad. But there's a lot in the hoarding, but you mentioned one there, like you mentioned, like, you know, like you mentioned Zelda earlier. I'm thinking about exploration rules, you know, and there's one that I've got at the top of my head, but I want to hear if you've got any ones up your sleeve for like exploration.
Oh God, I think we've covered the main ones in terms of, you know, looking for waterfalls if they're there, trying to go off the beaten path if it exists at every single given opportunity. With games like, you know, Zelda is one, but games like, you know, Skyrim, for example, if there is a mountain there, I will try and jump up it. Like Ghost of Yoti or anything, I will try and make my way up the side of that mountain if I fucking can.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's like,
but The Witcher was terrible for it because it looked like you were fine and then he would fall. You'd be like, oh, fuck off. Like,
I mean, it's a real, like, it's something we take for granted. I suppose like that age-old like Skyrim quote that was mocked to death. You'll see that mountain over there, you can climb up there. And it's really like the Skyrim jump. was born. Just smacking Y or triangle constantly just to kind of get up a mountain.
I think that has started a terrible habit in me that I have to jump in every single game that I play. Like I'm jumping more than I'm walking in most games now, or like dodging more than I can. Like playing like fucking Bloodborne or something. Like I am dashing everywhere everywhere I can possibly go. I'm doing that. What else in terms of exploration is there?
I mean, there's one here, I suppose, like you mentioned the scenery part, and I think that's probably baked into, as a younger gamer for us, there was a lot of invisible walls, so it's kind of like, it's cool to kind of stretch that and see, and very rarely do you hit these invisible walls, but I think for me it's, if I'm playing a game, right, and I've unlocked a new ability, I'm going back to an old area immediately, or at least I'm trying to go back in God mode to make the most of it. And I don't know if that's just good habits or not, but the game's trying to push you forward with this new ability. It's like, oh, wait a minute, there could be some old collectibles back there. And I don't know if that's kind of like the Batman Arkham in me. Yeah,
that's like every game now. Like with I keep on going back to Twilight Princess because it's what I'm playing right now. But you pick up fucking abilities and shit all the whole way through that, and you see in the world where you could use it, and it's like I need to remember where that is.
Yeah,
and then you forget, and just never fucking go back. Or inevitably, it's just another orange rupee, but you don't have enough space in your wallet to get it, so you just waste it. Fuck.
I mean, you've talked about Zelda and all that there, right? And I suppose exploration, like, see, Grand Theft Auto, Assassin's Creed, and The Witcher, these big games have spoiled me because I am opening the map every like 30 seconds, despite knowing exactly where I'm going, but I will also refuse to carry forward unless I've set a waypoint.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's just more open world design seeping into things, but you know, it's like
1,000,000%.
Grand Theft Auto, even in the mini map, like when they had added like I think GTA 4, like your sat nav ability, and it shows you it there, and you have like, I was playing Sleeping Dogs this week for a bit, and it has like something on there just to guide you, and I'm like, when did I get like this? Like, because beforehand I'd be able to like navigate these spaces excellently. Something I pride myself on. You drop me in any city on earth, I'll figure out my bearings in like 20 minutes. And I put all that down to games. But now the rule very much is, it's like, well, if you can't venture out without the waypoint. You know, you need to rely on that. But maybe that's just me. I'm not sure, but I've just become lazy.
I mean, if you're talking about setting waypoints, sat navs in Grand Theft Auto, Liam, is that I am not moving. See if the song is pish, I'm not moving. And it comes up later in this episode. I'm going to be talking about something else, right? But even things like fucking Grand Theft Auto, it's like, see if it's not fucking like Young Turks by Rod Stewart, I'm not in it. I'm done. Yeah. Like, I'm not driving through that forest listening to anything else. Driving through the country, not happening. Young Turks by fucking Rod Stewart is getting played full blast.
I mean,
or nothing.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you're sitting there scrolling the radio for ages because you got to get the vibes right.
Yeah.
I suppose one I must confess is that if the game offers me it, I will look for it. But I would, if it gets to nighttime, I can't be bothered like doing traversal. I'm like, I would much rather do it in the daytime, like just so I can see things. And I never used to be like that. I really like playing Spider-Man 2, the movie tie-in, and I loved it in nighttime. It's like, this is so cool. I hate the daytime, but now it's like play Spider-Man 2, the PS5 one. It's like loving that. But any type of stuff like that, I'm like, it needs to be day. And maybe it's just because I'm old and it's like the night times where the youths come out and I feel safe in the daytime. Little rule that I've set for myself.
Fast traveling everywhere.
Oh, God,
like, especially in Spider-Man 2. Like, the most recent one, it's like mobility is probably the best part of those games, but just fucking doing it, it's like, fuck that. Just fast traveling everywhere just to get past it.
Yeah, I mean, I found that even with Black Flag lately because I'm at the platinum grind and it's just like I could do the sailing, but it's like I've did all that. And, you know, I've captured all the forts. It's like I'm just going to fast travel between cities just to kind of get this moving a little bit. But I want to, here's some interesting ones. Any moral rules that you have for a game? For example, if there's a dog in a game, you must pet it wherever the game allows it.
No. Try and stab it every time, just in case. Just to see what the developers will do.
Yeah.
Of course not. I mean, I think so, I think maybe the whole stabbing thing is bred from Mario 64 and trying to get rid of that fucking penguin.
Yeah.
But moral rules. Hit me with a few yourself and I'll see.
Okay. Choosing the kind dialogue option even if there's an evil one.
You
know, even though the game's like that, hey, like Mass Effect, you can go Renegade if you want. You don't have to go Paragon. I'm still like that. I'm going to do a Paragon playthrough. No, I'm just going to. And if I'm going to do Renegade, it's like, no, I'm just going to go Paragon. So I'm going to go the good guy every time. In Fallout as well, you know, like there's something that you can do to piss them off, but I'm not much of a people pleaser, even to these virtual pixels. I'm like, no, I'll just be nice. I'll just, even though you're a pain in my arse and I don't like it, I'll just be nice. Baldur's Gate 3 was probably the first time I remember kind of loosely breaking that rule because I'm like, I want to see what happens because game doesn't punish you. It kind of lets you know, it's like, well, do you know what? You're not going to follow this one path. It's going to branch out so many different ways regardless of what you do. So it did let you kind of express yourself better, which is why the game so fucking good. But yeah, that's what I was thinking for moral rules, or even like, you know, feeling guilty from stealing from fictional characters, you know, like pickpocketing randomly outside of missions, you know, when you're not told to.
Probably more relevant in like an Assassin's Creed or something as well, and like feeling bad. I mean, probably not moral in games, but it's like maybe moral in terms of the way that I'm sort of looking at the games or playing the games, and that if I'm not happy with the decision that I'm making, I'm quite happy to go back and reload and change it. Like I'm not settling on that, you know.
Yeah, that's a good one. Oh,
I think morality in terms of games probably is more prevalent in things like a Baldur's Gate 3, for example, like where you can make the decisions and you live with those decisions. Things like Disco Elysium and stuff like that as well, where you play it. It's actually probably quite Sovereign Tower, that game that I was talking about earlier on as well, has quite a lot of that in it too, actually.
Yeah.
In terms of, you know, the decisions that you make play a big part in that. So I think that those kind of games are obviously where your sort of morality sticks in. But I'm quite an immoral person, Liam, so I don't really give two fucks. It's like, if there's something bad happening, you know, 9 times out of 10, it's me. I'm teabagging everyone. That's one of my moral codes. If I'm killing someone in COD, they're getting fucking bagged and tagged, and I'm off to the races. There you go.
I still do it. Also, another rule when you mentioned that, if someone's killing me 6 times, the game is gone, and I'm just out to kill that one person. Like that's it. That's the rule.
They're hacking. Lag switches at the ready. They're hacking, bro.
Bag switches, more like I think I've got some like question ones, right? I'm going to put to you, right? And I'm like, are these controversial? But are they something we should chat? And here's a quick fire round, right? In terms of gaming rules, right? Is using a guide acceptable once you've been stuck for say 10 minutes?
I think using a guide is acceptable anytime that you want to use it.
I agree. I've jotted down ones here just to try and see where you go, right? The first playthrough of any game, it has to always be completed without spoilers.
Yes.
I agree.
Wholeheartedly.
This one, Mike, is lowering difficulty allowed if one boss is wasting your limited time?
Depends on the game.
Yes, I suppose, if it's like a Souls game, is like summoning allowed if the boss is wasting your time?
100%, yeah. It's welcomed for the most part in Souls games as well. I think people forget that. Is that there are NPCs there that are to be summoned because they enhance story beats and stuff as well. But also in that same vein, if you're struggling with it, then fucking just, if it's going to make it easier for you, then just lower it. Like, what's the fucking... I think as we've got older, that's become the norm. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to fucking struggle through a game just to be hard. I done it with Hell as well. I played it on the hardest difficulty to begin with. Then I got to a boss and I was like, fuck this. Like, I'm not enjoying this game that much to fucking play it harder. So, fuck that.
No, agreed. Because a lot of these are taken from like kind of rules that I've been doing scouting online. Let's challenge them. This one, right? Should cutscenes ever be skipped during a first playthrough?
Oh god,
one just for you.
This is my fucking biggest thing. No, but I do it constantly. I skip dialogue in fucking first playthroughs as well.
Oh man, that's that for me. That is definitely never happening. That had the one thing that shocked me when you admitted that a few weeks ago. I was like, oh, my god, but I'm just daft for a story, to be fair. But here's another one, right? Speaking of, I've been guilty of this a few times, and I'm like, I feel guilty because I feel like I shouldn't be doing it, like I'm breaking a rule. But is safe scumming legitimate, or does it break the spirit of a game? I think it's perfectly fine.
It's fine. Of course, it's fine. It's just don't look at yourself in the mirror for 10 minutes and you'll be all right.
I didn't, but I had to be Elden Lord and get all those endings. Now here's one, must you finish a game before sharing a firm opinion about it?
If it's your job, yes. If you're doing it for fun, if you're doing it as if you're doing it for work, then yeah, because that's what you're paid to do, and that's your role. You can do in reviews, and as long as you're clear on that, that's fine as well. But if you go in with the intentions of not completing something, and that's your fucking full unbiased review, it's not worth anything at that point.
Yeah.
It's like Maybe Dragon's Dogma 2. That's why I can shit on that game for as much as I can, because I completed that pish. So
yeah, and he's going back, folks. It's coming to Switch 2.
It's so good. I can't even fucking deny it. Oh.
Do trophies count if you followed a guide?
Yeah, fucking too right to do.
I agree. That one.
You still need to do it. It's like saying if you get a trophy for becoming Elden Lord, you still have to fucking beat the boss. Do you know what I mean? So
100%. I know. And this one was a funny one to end on, but is every gamer morally required to complete the tutorial before complaining about the controls?
Ask that guy who played Cuphead. What was that fucking that
God,
guy?
Aye.
That games journalist. Oh my god, what an embarrassment. Nah, fuck that. Nah.
I know.
Controls are annoying. Controls are weird. I was playing something recently that had fucking weird controls, and it bugged the hell out of me. But I can't remember what it was, so total non-event.
There's some games that they almost over-egg the tutorial a bit, and there's ones where it's really basic, so it's you kind of get it. I know why they're there. They're important for accessibility. It could be somebody's first game, but I like what they did with Halo. Full circle here. Do that callback. You can just skip that. If you're like, I get it. Let me get straight to the action. There's other games where it is a constant tutorial for a long time. You know what I mean? Dense Attacks, where they just drip feed in new mechanics. It's really good. But I suppose, what to close on, what is the one kind of unwritten rule you would say that you would like to kind of stop if you could?
I mean, the answer should be the cutscene one. You know what I mean? It should be that for me in terms of what I would like to stop doing. But what I'll probably say is that going out my way to get more stuff before finishing the game. Do you know what I mean? It's fine to not get everything all at once on a first playthrough. Just finish the game and go from there.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. In fact,
no, scrap that. It's the same in the same vein. I don't have to get a platinum trophy on the first playthrough.
Yeah,
there you go.
That would help you a lot, actually. That would take the pressure right off. Because I never do a one playthrough platinum. I'm always I'll play it, then I'll go back and mop up. And if I can't, I'm fuck that, I'm just not doing it. For me, I think the one I'd like to stop is that whole not using items just in case I might need it later. I just wish I could just be a wee bit more of consumer daft and just I'm just fucking the hyper potions, fucking snibble, use it, out. Enjoy it, plentiful, right. And instead I just haven't been petrified that it's not going to be the case. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. But I mean, again, let us know, people, in the comments below as well, if you have any of those rules that you follow yourself, or if there's ones that you have that we've not mentioned. It'd be kind of cool to hear about them as well, because there are lots of weird and wacky ones out there for sure. Scott, we have got the two more segments here. We've got the first one up as the Pixel Picks replay here, which of course is a video game book club, so we're inviting you all to join us as we replay the top 100 video games from the Pixel Picks list. Now, it's that time of the month, so we're going to bring you a new game that we'll select at random, and we're going to just discuss about last month's one as well, which was for July. It was Burnout 3 Takedown. Now, Scott, confession time, I didn't get a chance to get my hands on this one because it's allegedly available for play, but Scott Curry to the rescue. He has played it, so I want to know just your little retrospective thoughts on that. What did you make of it going back to it?
Liam, I mean, I don't think I can be candid in saying this, right? I think that this is a a true enough statement if has ever been said by Scott Curry. I think Burnout 3 Takedown might be one of the greatest games ever made in 2004. You know, like, if we look at games made in 2004, I'm going to Google it because I can't remember the names of them, right? But games made in 2004, Half-Life 2, shite. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, pish. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, that's alright. Doom 3, rotten, man. But the best game ever made, September 2004, Burnout 3 Takedown. Oh my lord, this was a time capsule back to the fucking early 2000s, Liam.
Yeah.
You know, putting that game on, listening to the tutorial. I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy comes on, he gives you like a tutorial rundown of what you're doing in each thing. So it's like the single races, road rage, where basically instead of actually doing a race, you're trying to destroy cars. You've got the crashes where you can actually launch yourself off of fucking things and blow them up, and you create this big explosion. Then you've got it's like a crash breaker thing where you press the button and it blows everything else up. It's class. But in that tutorial, it is so 2000s coded. It might as well be Guy Fieri telling you. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's incredible. The game is 100 miles an hour. The milliseconds you play it. This was EA at their pomp. You know what I mean? Like, it was incredible stuff.
Yeah.
That first race you're thrown into, you've got no idea what you're doing. You're hitting every single wall. You're trying to crash into every car. And if you win that race, fucking hats off to you, because I didn't. I came second, and it was tough. Like, it was really tough. The road rage, as I say, you're pounding through these races where you have to just go and try and destroy as many cars as possible before your car's destroyed. And it's class. Like, this is just Burnout in a nutshell. Like, it's so good. As I say, the crash one, I played those 3 game modes to begin with, and then I was just sort of farting about with different things on it. But the crash mode is where I spent most of my time in Burnout 3 when I was younger, where you can envision it. You're at an intersection, you launch that car off it, and you're bouncing into whatever's there, trying to create the biggest explosion that you can. And it's so good. Like, it's so perfect for the time that it's just everything that you knew from Burnout. But Liam, I didn't realise that this might have been where Scott Curry became a wee bit of a fucking metalhead or an emo head back in those days, because the soundtrack for that game is like nothing else. Like, I was playing it, I was just like, I couldn't remember. Like, I remember with like Def Jam, you would always have like soundtracks from like DMX. I remember listening to like X Don't Give It To You and all that on there as well. So, oh man, this is great. But then you've got like, in this, it's got like Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance. It's got the Ramones, Franz Ferdinand, and all that, and it like bands that you fucking know from then. And it's just like listening to "I'm Not Okay" by My Chemical Romance brought a tear to my eye, Liam. I was just like, oh, but it was just great. Like, honestly, playing it on the Steam Deck. Oh no, playing it on original hardware was just a total treat. Like, it was honestly, see games like that back in the day where you could just jump in, jump out, you get a race done in 2 minutes. It's perfect for those fucking drop in, drop out sessions. It's obviously got a multiplayer, but we didn't play it. But it's just, as I say, it was a time capsule back to 2004 where I would have been 13 years old, and this would have been my life for that September up to Christmas. I could see myself playing it, and honestly, man, it was fucking excellent. It's so good. I begrudge anyone not to play that with the fucking biggest smile on their face. If you're listening to it, if you've got the means, go and play it. It's so good. So good.
There we have it then. There's a reason why it's on the list, folks. But yeah, it was a difficult one because you had to kind of sail the seas of piracy to get your hands on it. Indeed. But fuck it, you encourage after the past couple of months we gamers have had. But it's the start of a new month, so I've entered what's remaining into the top 100 into our magical machine here. I'm just having a little quick glance here. Yeah, Burnout 3 still on. I'm going to take that out. The magical machine is otherwise known as a big massive website with a wheel on it. So
the percolator.
I know.
It's time for the percolator.
In this age of bloody AI and all that stuff, I'm still using a big random browser, but hey, it gets the job done. here we go. Click the spin button. So, start of the new month for August 2026.
Imagine it's Halo.
Your Pixel Pix replay game is Starfield.
Fuck.
We are going back.
That was Alex, was it not?
It was. It does actually say Starfield, Alex.
Coming back to haunt me.
Alex,
right, okay.
will be delighted. He'll be returning next week to kind of regale us with his tales with Starfield, hopefully. But we invite you all to play this month. Join us at the start of next month. We're going to discuss in detail what we thought of Starfield. But yeah, head over to all the usual channels or comment on YouTube and Spotify if you are joining us along there. But Scott, we're going to move on to the next segment, which is a new one. It's the first time Scott's been here, which of course means it's time for Gamer Court, which is the segment where one of us is going to be bringing a gaming opinion to the stand and the other plays judge and jury. By the end, we're going to decide whether it's a fair take or a gaming crime. Scott, for the first time, you are in the dock. So I'd like you to present your case, and after which you'll get your verdict of a guilty, in which case it's a horrendous take, not guilty, a fair case, or there'll be a hung jury in some cases in which we cannot agree, or I cannot agree on that. Now, there hasn't been a guilty one yet. There's been no horrendous takes, no bad takes, as Alex said. But Scott, are you here to break that streak? What is the case you want to bring to the table?
Oh, God. Now, folks at home, I'll tell you this. I haven't prepared for this at all. So the good thing is that I am woefully ill prepared. I'm also waffling, Liam, because I'm trying to figure out something in my own head that I have one I could use for this. No. Let me cook for a minute.
Okay.
In fact, you go.
Okay.
I can't even think.
Here's mine, right? I'll put myself in the dock. We'll switch things about, right? So, what I'm wanting to bring to the court this week, Scott, is one that may seem controversial, but I stand by it, and I don't think I'm guilty on this. However, my case is that I think that gamers need to stop romanticising cancelled games as automatically being a good game. Sometimes, whether we like it or lump it, and I do say the word sometimes, a game that will be cancelled for a reason, and we have a real tendency to automatically go, that thing that was cancelled will be the best thing ever, and in a lot of cases it probably isn't the reality, and we might have been saved from a stinker. Not in all cases, but I just think as a collective community, if a game is cancelled, it's usually outrage. That'll be the best 10 out of 10 ever, and there's no real nuance or context within there. It's just a handbrake turn. But I put that before the court, Scott. So judge me fairly. That's all I ask.
To be honest with you, Liam, I think that you're probably right, to be honest with you. I thought you were going down the route of cancelled games, so games that have been cancelled. So what? Like, woke gaming in this day and age?
No, none of that pish.
No, I think that's fair enough. Like, I think that you can look at that. Could you, if you would permit me, Liam, a couple of objections on this point?
The defence.
The defence does not rest yet. Is it? No, I'm not the defence. Nonetheless, would you stretch that to games that have been closed down? So, i.e., the Avengers game or Anthem, for example, in that we romanticise the loss of those games in a similar way?
Not really. However, in the case of Anthem, there was that week where people were like going in and they were doing the editorials and stuff, and it's like, maybe we should have gave it a chance. It's like, we had a fucking chance, we didn't like it. It's more the games like, basically anything that Amy Hennig has worked on, since Uncharted, that just gets cancelled, and it's like the Star Wars project and all that. It's like, that would have been amazing. It's like, no, she leaves a wake of cancelled. Well, she leaves more cancelled games in her wake than most Xbox executives have of late. So, listen, I appreciate all the watch did in Uncharted, but fuck me, man, that's something that may be another case for another week. But it's those type of games where it's like they were working on a Batman Beyond game, and it would have starred like an older Bruce Wayne and all that stuff. It's like, man, that would have been great. A PT, leaked concept art, that stuff that never really made in production. And it was like, you'll get a Jason Schreier article that tells you the cool story about how it got cancelled. And it's like, that is cool. That is really interesting. And I do love all that. And I love seeing about what could have been. I just think that we tend to, as a collective, romanticize and think that, oh, that would have been the best thing ever. Just because the idea sounds good, the reality is it's probably wasn't going to materialize because it wasn't ever actually going to be that 10 out of 10 game that we might have hoped.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a very fair and astute point. I also think you played that very safely there, Liam.
Right. I'm the king of the defence here. What's my verdict? Not
guilty.
Not guilty. A fair case. There we go. That's it. There's no bad cases. No bad cases from this man. I am the king of this defence court. I'm like Jim Carrey at the start of Liar. It doesn't lose. I'm like Coach Bombay for the DUI. Don't drink and drive. But yeah, Scott, do you have a case there you would like to bring to the court?
I can't. I legitimately cannot think of anything that.
Okay.
Oh God! Right.
If our audio listeners, he's not doing a jobby.
I'm not doing a jobby. It sounds like it though.
Uncanny.
Right, I do have one for you. Right, and it's to do with games like Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail.
Honkai Star Rail. Yep.
Why, Liam? Like, I think that there's a universe of people that play these games, but why, Liam? Like, I think just cancel them all. Cancel all these games. Cancel fucking, what do you call it? There was something came out recently. Xbox. Oh my God. It was in the developer direct a few years back, but basically, see any game that has that floaty anime sounding girl voice. Like the games that you hate in a PlayStation Plus, a PlayStation State of Play.
Yep.
Throw them all at the bin. They're all the same. They're all the same. Fire Emblem games, not Fire Emblem. Xenoblade games.
God.
All the same. They're all the same game. Like, there's no point. It's just get them all away and just make one game, and that's enough for me. And I'll take that guilty verdict. Throw it at me.
Yeah. Because we have to do cross-examination. So I do believe then you're saying that the issue is that these games are homogenized. What's it saying? Like,
yeah.
It's all one.
They're all one game.
I have to be fair, Scott. I can't be biased. And but also I can't say it's not guilty. I can't say it's a fair case, even though I personally think so. But I know there's a lot of people out there that do enjoy it, and this is this is the thing. I enjoy it too. I know you do. I just think that they're all rubbish. And enjoy air. I'm going to slam a guilty on this one, right? It's a horrendous take because you enjoy it. And also the fact that we know that there is legions of people out there that do enjoy it. However, it is very much like if you don't enjoy it, you would very much be like, well, not guilty. But to be fair, and we have to speak for all the gamers out there, there'll be people like me thinking, hey, this guy's got a point, it's all pish, but there'll be other people probably listening going, no, wait a minute, I love Honkai Star Rail. It's like, and I can tell you in deep lore examples the difference between that and a Xenoblade Chronicles, even though it all seems all one, but you could argue the same thing for any other genre, pretty much like, what is the difference between John Halo and Call of Duty? And I know people's like, well, wait a minute, the Covenant and all that, and I get it, but Scott, you should be pleased to know that you've had our first guilty verdict on that with a horrendous take. He's broke it. But will my streak be broken? Will Alex's streak be broken? We'll find that next week. But with that game of court as adjourned for another week, if you've got a case you'd like us to hear, to send it our way, it might just be in trial next week. But Scott, that does bring us to an end to this week's podcast. So, big massive thank you once again for joining us. And remember, go support small independent games media out there. So if you like what you hear, enjoy the podcast, just share it on social media, tell your pals, leave a 5-star review, whatever you're doing. It makes a massive difference. And please go join our free Patreon community at patreon.com/pixelparents to support the show. It's free. There's no ads. You'll get none of that. You can listen to things start to finish, and we're not going to charge you a dime because shit be too expensive anyway. Scott, it's test time. where can people find you online if they want to hear about how you're going and your paternity leave? Because you're going to go back now into the paternity mode and want to hear all about it.
My pants mode, as I call it. I am available on Blue Sky, lamaman.bsky.social. Come drop in, and I won't reply to anything you say because I barely reply to text these days. So come say hello.
That's true, actually. I thought this man was dead for 24 hours. You can find me.
And the thing is, I didn't even mean it. Like, that's the annoying part. I actually had my phone in my hand. I just didn't realise I hadn't text back.
No, your mind is elsewhere just now. It's more than okay. But yeah, you can find me on Blue Sky at carmelite.bsky.social. A huge thank you to our producer and music man, very talented and handsome Mr. Sean Murray. Go show him some love and check out his work on Instagram at Bare Hands Designs and barehandsdesigns.com. You can get this and all the other episodes on major podcast platforms, so go follow us on Blue Sky at pixelparents.bsky.social. Of course, write to us at pixelparentspodcast@gmail.com. But wherever you are, just like, share, subscribe, and please, as we always say, play some damn games. But until next time, stay safe, stay sane, and thanks for listening.
I'm away to sleep, you fucks.
Play Alan Wake 2.
Hibernate. Oh, wait, hibernate. I'm playing Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake?